Welcome to Wing Academy Video, an extension of Wing Academy of Unfoldment. I'm your host, Diane Wing, and my show focuses on how to use spiritual concepts in the real world. We will address issues related to the mind, body, and spirit, discover how to release what holds us back, and ways to come into our power. Learn more at dianewing.com. Today, my special guest is Nancy Yearout, an angel communicator who channels Archangel Gabriel's messages for humanity. She's a public speaker, an author, a psychic, an energy healer, and an angel communicator. Nancy is the host of the High Road to Humanity podcast and the YouTube channel Nancy's Psychic View. She's a public speaker and teaches angel communication and spiritual law. We'll be discussing her latest book, A Guide to Angel Communication and Spiritual Laws and Angels' Connection to God. Learn more at nancyyearout.com. Welcome, Nancy.
Thanks for having me, Diane.
I am very excited about this topic. And folks, here's her website so you can check out all that she has to offer on here. And check out her show and other things. And then I know you're going to want to buy this book at the end of our session. So I'm gonna show you where to buy it, and it's available wherever you're gonna buy books, but most people go right to Amazon. So there it is. And you can check it out there. So I have seen so many people talk about their guardian angel. Oh, I'm being looked out for, and they have little angels in their car hanging from the rearview mirror, and it's a very cute way to connect, but I think that there's more going on with our guardian angels than that kind of hopefulness that somebody's watching over. So what's your take on this?
Well, my take on it is my guardian angel stands right next to me. She's right here. And once I connected with her, it was life-changing. The angels are at a high vibration. And a lot of us, we pray and we talk to our spirit guides, but we all have a guardian angel. We come into this life with a guardian angel, and your guardian angel is always with you. And connecting is really, it's like someone has your back. This is an angel that's been with you your whole life, so they know everything about you. And it's really important that we communicate with them because they give us guidance, loving guidance. It's nice to know somebody's got your back and your angel is always with you. And so I wrote this book so that people would connect with the divine, with God. I say God, some people say spirit. And I also wrote it so people would connect with the earth energies because we've lost that connection, and the earth energies are very healing. And then, of course, with your guardian angel, so that you have some guidance. You can ask, hey, what do you think I should do about this? And you get the answer, and the answers come in immediately. So I teach people how to do this, how to communicate. And I can teach the audience today if you like.
Awesome. So does each person get their own guardian angel, or do we have to share?
No, we absolutely have our own guardian angel. And I have several angels that are with me. And different spirit guides and different angels will come in at different times. But we always have that one angel that's always with us. And yes, we all have one. Yes. Would you like to
So
connect?
how did you first recognize that you have this angel with you and standing with you even?
Well, I on my podcast, I do a podcast and I do a YouTube channel, High Road to Humanity. I've done it since 2016, and I've interviewed so many different people. And as I've interviewed people, I've started to recognize my own abilities. And then you talk to people who are angel communicators, and they see my angels next to me. And it's really, I think, been a lot of psychics and mediums seeing my own angels, and then me going, okay, it's time to communicate, and just doing that. And it's very easy. You just ask. It's very important that we always ask, though, for our angel who is holy and divine. Don't just call anything in. I always say, uh,
Yes.
I'm going to ask my angel who's holy and divine a question. And then the way it works is it's the first thing that comes into your head before you even have time to think. So, would you like to connect with yours? Should we connect you today? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Diane. So here's what you're going to do, and this is what the audience can do also. But you're going to be the guinea pig today. So, what you're going to do is you're going to ask your angel, who's holy and divine, what their name is, and it's going to be the first thing that comes into your head before you can think. So I'll let you do this, and either out loud or to yourself, whichever you prefer.
It's such a cliche name, though, Angela.
Okay, and just ask. Okay, and ask your angel if is it if she has a message for you.
I didn't get a very clear, but um, I got a mini image that, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if it was a download or if it was something that I'm hoping for right now.
Okay, so I want you to say out loud, I'd like to connect with my angel who's holy and divine.
I'd like to connect to my angel who's holy and divine.
Angel who's divine, what message do you have for me?
Angel who's divine, what message do you have for me? So the same thing.
What is now? What are you getting? You're getting a picture?
I'm getting a picture of a place that I would like to have that's for sale in the mountains.
Oh my God. So she's giving you that she's guiding you. That's something you want. Isn't that interesting? That's
And I
interesting.
just, yeah, I mean, I'm very like to have two places, like that's,
A
I
big
think
deal.
that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So she's telling you to go
Financially
for it, huh? I
seems like
love that.
that.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and see
So,
those. Okay, so that is why I communicate with my angel, and that is why you're going to communicate with yours, Angela, because they give us this little bit of push. Should I do
yeah.
this or should I do that? And you can ask simple things. What should I wear today? Which way should I drive to work? Should I go on this trip? And when I go on a trip, I ask the angels to go with me. And when I go to the store, angels, I need this and I need it in this color. And it's always there. It's putting that intention out there and communicating with your angels and the angels who are holy and divine. And remember, always say holy and divine because you don't want to call in anything. But isn't it amazing?
Yes. Now, and I do that, but I don't particularly use an angel. I go direct to source. So could it be that they're an intermediary or like what's the difference between, right?
Right.
You
Okay. So
know,
here's the deal. So angels are God's helpers. Angels are God's messengers. So the reason we have the angel, yes, of course, I connect with Source every day and I connect with God every day. But not always asking God everything. I'm asking my angel just because I get it quick. She's right there and we have a relationship. We've established a rapport. And the
okay.
reason, yes, and the reason I like the angels, I have spirit guides as well, but the angels are on a really high vibration. And when I communicate with my angel and I work with her, it brings my own vibration higher. It brings in joy. I'm more joyful, I'm more centered, I'm more peaceful. Same thing when I connect with God. That's why in the book, I teach people to connect with God first, then the earth, and then their angel. Because you can't connect with your angel if you're not connected with God.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And that makes so much sense.
yeah.
There was a time it says that, you are particularly connected to Gabriel, Archangel
Correct.
Gabriel,
Right,
and
right.
in the messages that you channel. Um, I had an experience in this networking meeting of all places. Like, I think it happens when you least expect it. I
Right.
really do. And so this person was presenting, and she was saying very strange things. She turned off the lights. This is a women's networking meeting. Turns off the lights,
That's weird.
puts this like strange music that's more like sounds on, and then she sang all this strange stuff. And suddenly, and this was the first time this ever happened to me, suddenly I felt something rise up behind me, like 10, 11 feet behind me, like it was protecting me. And I said, "Who is that?" And he said, "Gabriel." And then, but it wasn't in your typical, like, "Hi, I'm so beautiful and I have wings and whatever." It was more of like a triangle shape. It was
Mhm.
a shape and it was a power.
Was it light? Light?
Um,
Light.
it was more like it was
What
like a
color?
dark,
What
it was
color?
like a dark purple
Mhm.
that, but it was like protecting me from whatever
Okay, so
this
let's
weird
so
thing was.
yeah. So here's what I pick up immediately from this. First of all, she turned off the lights, which is not cool. Secondly, she's put on music. You got to remember, music has vibration. Music has sound. It's sound. We are energetic souls. We are energetic beings in these bodies, and music affects us, can affect us positive or
Yes.
negative. Just like your words have energy and can affect you. So it sounds like she was really trying to do something weird where she's connecting, where she's putting this music on, which is affecting you energetically, and it could be affecting you in a negative way. It could be bringing in dark entities, it sounds like. And it also, with words she's saying, remember, whatever she says, it goes out into the universe and you're receiving it. So, of course, I would imagine Gabriel would come in and protect you. Absolutely. And you didn't even ask for it. You're just of the light. So he's there. Just like Archangel Michael is of the light. And if we need Michael, he's there. Even if we don't call, sometimes the angels come because they're with us. Yes. Isn't that lovely to know they're with us?
Yes. But it was
Right.
such a surprise. So
Right.
to your point, like they're there, whether
Right.
or not we're acknowledging it,
Yeah. Yeah.
acknowledge it is even better.
Correct. Now
And
you
then
understand. Yes.
the
Yes.
weirdness continues with when my friend that was also in this meeting we got into the car. I said the weirdest thing happened to me, and I told her what happened. She said I had an angel envelop me in her wings while we that was going on, and I was like, "What are the odds of that?"
Right. And that's how I bring Gabriel in, just so you know. And I'm going to teach your audience this. When I bring Gabriel in, I bring him in like this.
Okay.
Okay. And he's right here with me. Gabriel, you want to come in? Are you here? You want to come in? Yes, he's here. The way I started with Gabriel is I was going through a divorce and I asked for help and guidance. And somebody taught me how to bring Gabriel in, all the way in, like this. And so I started to do it for myself because I needed help. And of course, I asked the Lord, but I work with the angels, so I asked Gabriel. And he's the messenger of God. If you read in the Bible,
Yes.
he's the messenger. And so he came to Mary, and so I feel very, very blessed. So after a while, I started to think, well, I need to do messages. I was writing the angel book, and I thought I need to have Gabriel bring messages forth for humanity. And that's how this began. But let me see if Gabriel has a message for you today. I get peace immediately. I feel, here's what I'm getting. I'm getting peace in the world. The world is coming to peace. It's a slow process, but it is happening. And the angels are guiding peace on the planet. That's
Okay. Can he confirm that he was the one in the meeting with me?
yes, he says yes. Yes. Yes, it was I. He says it was I. But and he can be in more places he can be in several places at one time. That was a dark. You want to tell her what that was? That was an attempt to bring it into darkness, into to control. It was an attempt to control. It was more of a mind control, and that's what they were attempting to do a mind control, so that you go along with whatever they say. And
Ugh.
it was a type of manipulation, almost for financial gain in some way.
Wow.
Anything else?
Wow. Yeah, it was so like
Blessings to you. Yes, blessings to you. Yeah.
It was
Is that
so
right? Does that seem right
bad.
that that's what they were trying to do?
Yeah, oh yeah. And it was like a hemisync thing. So it
Mm.
was like that
They were messing
brain,
with you. Isn't
but
that scary that people know enough to do that? But see, you got to remember, and this is why I talk so much about the angels. Here you are, and you are put in a position, don't even know you're with the dark, and here comes the light. So when you are of the light, and I bet you connect with God every day, don't
every
you?
day.
And I do too. And this is why, here we go again. It's a small book, but I teach people who don't know how to connect with the divine. We aren't taught these things in church. Nobody says, Nancy, bring in the Holy Spirit through your crown chakra, through your body. That's how you do it. And then listen for
Yeah.
messages from God, from the divine. We aren't taught these things. But now many of the light workers have learned through just wanting to know. Isn't that how you learn? I mean, you just want to
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Well, yes, through the work, but I think because I've experienced various religions and various different traditions,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's all paths are valid.
Right. Right.
There's some kind of gems of wisdom and in everything, but there are universal laws that run through all of it.
Correct.
And so
Bingo.
that's
Yes.
where you
Yes.
can pick up, and I do that too. I always do this because that is where it's coming in.
Well, sure.
Whether,
You bring in the light. Yeah. And I put
yes,
and I put the spiritual laws in the book that I felt were most important for people to know. Do you want me to go through a couple of them?
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one is, of course, I opened up just the book, and one is be grateful. The universe loves gratitude, and the
I was
the
just
universe.
thinking that that's
Oh my
the
gosh. Yeah, the universe loves gratitude, and so do the angels. So I'm going to read a little here. I'll read the little bit of this. The universal energy picks up on our grateful energy. Your grateful vibration goes out into the universe and delivers blessings back to you. The more gratitude you send out, the more gratitude you will receive. The universe blesses you. That's how the universe works. That's how the energy works. So I
I
put that one
compl
in there. Yeah.
that that is it's so powerful, and I go into gratitude every day, and that's part of the morning ritual for me.
Yeah.
And I'm even like we were talking about protection when we least expect it. I mean, I'm grateful for the protection I've received from day one of my life.
Right.
Like I can remember times when something should have gone really sideways and it didn't. And all happened for a reason, but I came out more or less unscathed.
Right.
And
I'll tell you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This week, I want to tell a quick story. So this week, I went to get my oil changed on my car Monday, no big deal. So I left work a little early, got to the, dealership, whatever. They take my car. About a half hour later, the lady comes in. She goes, "Oh my gosh, your water pump is leaking water." It was 100 degrees here, by the way, in Connecticut this week on Monday. And I said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's kind of unusual." And she said, "Yeah, you came for the oil change, but the guy saw that your water pump had gone and you cannot drive your car. You could have been stranded." And so I was like, wow. So they gave me a ride home. I love this part. They gave me a ride home, and then I got the day off because I fixed my car during the day. So it was I mean, even though it cost me a little bit, she did give me a discount because I asked for that. It's whatever you ask for. I put the intention out there. But bottom line is, I got the day off. I didn't get stranded. And the universe had kind of orchestrated. I thought to myself, wow, that was all orchestrated. So look at the timing. 100 degrees. I go in the afternoon. How weird is that?
yes,
Anyway, those are the things that happen. The
but that
synchronicity.
that does happen. I mean,
Yeah.
let I have given over control of my schedule to the universe
Yeah.
because it always knows better than I do. We can't possibly know all the particular scenarios. And when you're asking for stuff, ask for the what, not the how, but ask it in gratitude, like thank you
Thank
for
you. Right.
whatever you're bringing me,
Right.
my highest good, because that's where it's going to work. If you sit there, and give this laundry list of things that you want without the gratitude and the specific how you want it to happen, you're done. Like that's not
Yeah.
how this works.
That's fabulous advice. And that's exactly, Diane. And I forget sometimes because I'm such a control freak. I'm a type A. And I know these things, but you are telling the audience exactly proper because that's what a lot of people do. They say, I want, and please, and please, and please. But what you have to do is pretend you already have it and say, thank you for giving it to me. And then the universe responds to that energy. You are absolutely correct. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you wrote the book, though, so that, and it's in simple terms so that people can
Yeah.
take action on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like, can you give a quick tip? I mean, I know we experimented on me this morning, but what's a what's a quick tip for people that might be a little skeptical about this? Like, oh, I don't know.
Well, okay, let's talk about the angel signs. And
Okay.
okay, because here's the situation. Why all of a sudden are we all seeing the angel signs at the same time? What's going on here? Well, the reason is they've always been here. But as we raise our vibration, we start to recognize the signs and we start to see them. You start to see the numbers 1111. And it came as a progression for me. So I'll just share this with the audience. It started with 1111, then it was 2222. At one point, it went to 333. Sometimes it's 444, and sometimes I get 555. Now, lately, it's been 2222. I was driving to work this week and on a last week, actually, and it was a bus had 2222. And it's the angels saying, okay, you're on the right path. How often do you see that? You don't. And so
Yeah.
I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, I keep seeing 222. And it's the angels nudging us to say, yes, we're with you. Yes, you're on the right path. Yes, it's confirmation. Sometimes people see birds, cardinals, yellow birds. These are signs. Some people will find feathers. I always find pennies. And I don't care what anybody says, they're pennies from heaven because they'll just come out of nowhere. Like, where did that come from? So it's recognizing the signs. And when we recognize the signs, the angels are so grateful because they're nudging us. They're nudging us to connect, is what they're doing. So if you see the signs, start to connect with your angel because they're nudging you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice. Because yeah, we do see symbols and numbers and things,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I should pay attention to that.
Well, yeah,
And
you should. Yes.
because when you ignore it, things don't go as smoothly as they might.
Correct. They're guiding you. It's guidance. It's guidance down your path. Why not have a little guidance? Why not? Why are you, no pun intended, but why wing it? I'm just
There you
saying,
go.
you know? Why not
Yeah.
ask your angel who is holy? And why not ask God for help? And I just want people to know, I talk about prayer in the book too. And I've interviewed so many people on my podcast, High Road to Humanity, who've had near death experiences and have told me that they see the prayers going up. And that, so I want
Ah.
everyone to know that I've heard, I had a lady tell me they were like sticky notes, all the prayers, and she could see them. She was out of her body, had a near death experience. And so I've heard this by so many different people. So our prayers are always heard. They're just not answered in our timing. They're answered in God's timing, in the divine's timing. And that's where we have to have faith. You know, I'm looking for a new writing job. I want to do more writing. So I put it out to the universe. And instead of going, where's my writing job? Where's my new writing job? I'm like, okay, God, I know you got this. I know you got this. I'm
Mhm.
faithful. I know you're going to bring it to me, not in my timing, but in yours. And it's hard. Even though I know this stuff, just like you, it's hard, but you have to be faithful. And when you stay in faith, it happens every time. Every
It
single.
does. Well, people like, oh, I have to be patient. I don't think it's patience as much as it's acceptance of divine timing
Yeah.
and trusting it. It's so you don't have patience really has nothing to do with it as far as I'm concerned. Just like allow and
Right.
flow. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's right for you, that's why I always end whatever it is with for the highest good.
Right.
Because what you're asking for might not be
For
the
your highest good.
thing
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
highest good.
That's
And you
true.
don't know that. You can't see all the webbing of the
Yeah.
connections. And that's why it takes a while too, because if you
Right.
ask for something, there are like, there could be 1,000 things and variables that have to line up before
Mhm.
that thing can happen.
Plus, you don't know what you asked to learn before you came in here.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the other thing, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, did I really set this up for myself? But then after you make it through the lesson, you're grateful that you learned a lesson. That's me anyway.
Yes.
That's what I've learned. You too. Yes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
it's gratitude for everything, even if you
Right.
think it was not a good thing. Like I hate that
Right.
good and bad that it it just is.
Right.
And you're gonna see why, because no matter what, there's a lesson in it.
Absolutely. And that's
And
why we're
that's
here.
great. And that's what you focus on.
Yeah.
It's not like, why are you doing this to me? It's
It's like, why are you doing
nobody's
this for me? Why are you doing this for
that
me?
for me.
Yes, that's it.
Much better.
Yes.
Much better. Oh my God.
Love.
Yeah, we're not victims, folks. God advocates for us
Right. That's right.
and it protects us when we don't even know we need it. So
Absolutely.
that's the trust piece and the faith of it
Hmm.
and just accepting it. But I think the more you connect with angels, with God, the more you accept that this is how things work.
Sure. You have to know how the energy flows, how the universe works. I taught people this in my first book. I'm just going to tell you this. Wake up, the universe is speaking to you. I wrote it many years ago in 2016 because I was a real estate broker and I was a single mom and I wanted to learn how to draw business to myself. And I realized how to do it with affirmations and putting that energy out to the universe and staying upbeat and positive. And so it's been a process for me to learn this stuff. I'm sure, we all go through these learning experiences. Do you want there's one more, if you don't mind, spiritual
Oh,
law
sure.
I
Yeah.
want to mention and this is like something that I've worked on and I think a lot of people work on, and it's do not judge another. And I'm just going to read this really quick. Judgment of each other must stop, as we are all souls with no idea what another person came here to learn and experience in this lifetime.
Yes.
And we all, for some reason, well, our society has made it such a judgmental society. And if we could just let go of the judgment and accept people for who they are, and because you have no idea what their lesson is.
Well, the way it's set up, it's made it easier to be judgmental and critical because you can hide behind a profile name. Like, like on the web, people can be mean in a way that they couldn't before we had this technology. And so just know that even if you're hiding behind a computer, you're putting that energy out, and that energy comes back to you, folks.
I was going to say that before you even got it out. Yeah, because like right now, I can send you energy and you can feel it coming through the computer. That's what's so crazy. I had a guy on my show, on my podcast a couple weeks ago, and he does past life regressions. And he told me he didn't do it, but he's done it for like 20 years. He's done like 5,000 past life regressions. And he said all of a sudden he started doing them over Zoom. And he said it shocked him because I do healings and I do readings over Zoom too, just like you do, I'm sure. And but I said to him, well, what happens if you've got somebody under and they're in a past life regression and the internet goes out? And he goes, right? And he goes, right, right. And he goes, it's the strangest thing. It takes care of itself. He said it just kind of, they kind of go back to, and it just works out because what he does is it's really interesting. He works with the spirit guides. And so the spirit guides come in if something like that happens. Now, isn't that interesting? So
Yes.
you can do anything through Zoom because of we are energetic souls and we're just sending the energy through.
Yes, there's no distance where the
Uh-uh.
energy can't move. Like in Reiki, there's a symbol for distance healing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the other person is in the
Right.
world.
Right.
They could be on the moon. It doesn't matter
Right.
because that energy is also the energy that connects all of us.
Right. And when someone's nasty on the internet, that energy, you're right, comes back to them tenfold. And it's tenfold because the universe gives you what you put out. That's all. It's really what it is. Whatever you put out, you get back. So
Yes.
if you put out love, you get love back. If you put out anger, you get anger back. And that's why it's so important to stay in the present moment and not think about things that happened in the past, which is something I'm working on right now, and not think of what's happening in the future, but just what's happening right now. It's hard to do it, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's a practiced
Mm-hmm.
skill,
Mm-hmm.
and because we tend to go to our default
Right.
behavior, and it's
Right.
so easy to do that, and especially if you don't catch it. Like
Right.
catching it
Yeah.
is the hardest part. Those old thought patterns that plague
Mhm.
us, um, to try to nip it and shift the way you're thinking about something.
Right. I'm working on it because you know what? It's a programming. We've all been programmed, so we have to change our programming. And what I've been doing, like today, I was like, I got this thought. Where did that come from? Okay, to the light, to the light. Let's get rid of that thought. Sending it to the light. Don't want to have that again. Because it's like every time you have a negative thought, you're reliving that situation.
Oh
And
yeah.
so but yeah, it's a practice. So even though I've come this far, I'm still working on myself. Still working on
You know
myself,
what?
Diane.
And hopefully that's forever. Like I think that that's
Yeah.
part of the gift is that we're going to continue to evolve not only over the course of this lifetime, but into others if that's what I mean, I believe in reincarnation.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that this isn't the end of
No.
anything, and we're here to evolve, and the only one stopping us from doing that is ourselves,
Yeah.
and we are assisted every step of the way by the universe.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I always go back to nature. The birds are good, right? The trees are fine. The grass is good. The flowers still bloom. Everything's going well. They don't worry. They don't worry like how am I going to eat or what am I going to do or how am it's just all works
Yes,
out, doesn't it?
yes,
So if we could
yes,
just let go, let go, let God, here we go. And it's
absolutely.
hard to do. It's hard to do. We all want to control. But yeah, once
Well,
we
it's
let
because
go.
of the trust factor. That
Yeah.
trust factor is really hard.
Yeah.
Even when I'm teaching like intuitive development, to trust the message that you're getting, that you can even do this, because everybody can do it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you have to trust that you can't like doubt it and fear it and oh my God. And like as soon as you do all that, you're cutting yourself off.
Exactly.
And
It's
also
trust.
any
Yeah.
substances are cutting you, like any central nervous system depressants diminish your ability to connect.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
folks, if you feel like you're drinking too much wine or whatever, you probably are.
Well, yeah, and I've even gone to I don't use toothpaste that has, the fluoride in it anymore. I haven't for many years because it affects us. Just so y'all know. I
Okay.
use I use the natural toothpaste. The fluoride affects us. There's a lot of things that affect our ability, which I think maybe somebody knows it affects our ability because you had to think about this. We're very powerful. Each of us is very powerful. Now imagine all of us together how powerful we can be. So, as a collective. So, it's really awesome to see people raising their vibration. And as we do, the whole planet raises its vibration. And just you and I talking today helps each other and helps, the collective. So,
Yes. Yes.
mhm.
You can do it, folks. You believe that you can do it. Belief is a huge piece of this. And also get the book
Yeah.
because, everybody needs guidance. Like, you don't have to do this on your own. We're not alone, universally speaking, but we're also not alone in who we find who can help us along the way
Hmm.
to stay on the path. So we're at the end. This time went so fast. Tell us more about what you're up to, where they can connect with you, what, any new projects coming up.
Yeah, well, I do have a lot of new things coming up, but right now, if you want to go to my website, nancyyearout.com, NancyYearout, that's where you can listen to my podcast. You can watch my show, High Road to Humanity. You can also find it on YouTube, on Apple. And if you want an energy healing, I do energy healings. If you want a psychic reading, I do that. I have angel classes where I teach you. I go into a little bit more in depth. It's a three-parter. I also teach empaths. So if you're an empath and you need guidance, go to my website. You can book with me. So that's what I do to help humanity. And I do speak. I'm a public speaker as well. So if you need me to speak at your event, let me know. Go to my website. You can find me.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here. It's been enlightening.
Okay. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Diane. It's been fun.
Hope to speak with you soon.
All right. Thanks.